What's going on, everybody? Hideous Thoughts here, coming at you with another Black Desert Online video for console. In today's video, we're going to be having a little bit of a chat about energy. We're going to talk about what energy is, what you can do with it, and how you can get more of it. So this is really going to be like an in-depth beginner's guide to energy to really get an understanding about how it all works, and hopefully allow you to progress in the game a lot easier with a better understanding of energy. Now, I spoke a little bit about in my video on how to grind contribution experience about the three types of currencies. One of them is contribution, one of them is silver, which is your main currency used for buying and selling, and the other one is energy. Now, there's a whole range of different things that you can do with energy that are going to help you progress in the game, and also they're going to really dictate how you play the game as well, because they're going to allow you to do certain tasks or not, or going to restrict how much you can do a particular thing. It's also going to be very beneficial for making money in the game as well. So I'm going to try and cover everything. There might be a couple things that I miss. If I do, feel free to drop it in the comments below. Let everyone know. I'd highly appreciate it, and I'm sure everyone else will as well. But for now, let's get into it. I really want to talk about all the different things that you can use energy for, and I don't really want to just go here you go, that you do this, and this, and see you later, good luck. I want to kind of go into everything in a little bit of detail, so that you guys can really get a good understanding of how to do particular things, and get the most out of it and learn the most, because that's the most important things, that you guys come away from this video with some extra knowledge. So let's talk about some things that you can use energy for. Alright, so the first thing we're going to talk about is activating a node. Now, I haven't done a video yet on creating a worker empire and understanding nodes in their entirety. So what I will do is I'll just give a brief kind of explanation about how this works. I did kind of mention it in my contribution video. So what we're going to do, let's look at, for example, Invelia. Every major city has these surrounding nodes, and they're all connected in some way or another. So each one of these little circles here is what you would call a node. When you go into, let's click on the node and go into node management, and you can see here it gives you some information about what's available. So to activate a node, you need to invest contribution points. If you want a better understanding of contribution points, I will link my video on how you can get contribution points. But let's say you already have an understanding of contribution points. To activate this node, you're going to need to invest 2 contribution points. And then what it's going to do is it's going to allow you to invest a further 1 contribution point into this potato farming resource node, which is then going to allow you to send a worker to passively gather that particular resource for you. Now, the reason energy is important for this is because when you're creating your worker empire, not only does it cost you contribution points to invest, but it also costs you 10 energy. So every time you invest, let's say we're going to invest contribution points here to activate the node, it's going to cost us 10 energy, and then another 10 energy to activate this resource node here as well. So that's why it's really important. The other thing that you can use energy for is if you've got an area that you're grinding in for money. Let's say you're always grinding in a particular spot because you see a high value for silver there. There's a particular item that you want. If you're chasing a particular item, you can invest in energy into that node, and what that does is that once you reach level 10, which is the highest level you can reach, that costs you 11,350 energy, which is going to take a long time. So what you can do is you can click on the node, you go into node management again, and you can come here and you can go to invest energy. So this will allow you to increase the level of that particular node by investing your energy. So if you were to click on invest energy, it will say here 30. It's not 30 energy, it's actually times by 10. So it's 300, which is the maximum that you can invest at the time, depending on how much energy you have. So the more energy you have available, the more you're going to be able to invest into this. But let's say we didn't want to invest all of our available energy. Let's say we only wanted to invest 100 energy. So we could just type in 10, and what it's going to do is it's going to invest 10 energy. And you can see that ring there around, there's a number 6 just under the name where it says abandoned iron mine. You can see that number 6 there surrounded by an orange circle. The orange circle is the XP bar going all the way around. Once it reaches 100%, that 6 is going to change to a 7, which means that that node is now at level 7. So once you've got, if you've got multiple characters, I highly suggest you actually do it. Even if you don't want them, it's very beneficial because all of these extra characters are going to be collecting energy for you. So as soon as you create the character, they automatically have access to your maximum amount of energy that they can get, and they'll start collecting that over time. So for lack of better words, essentially you can just use them as energy slaves, which does come in handy a lot of the time. Alright, now I did mention before as well that you're able to use energy and contribution points to activate a node, which then allows you to send a worker to that node to collect resources for you passively. So I'm going to show you how you can get a worker. What you want to do is you want to go to the Find NPC. You can, if you haven't got this, all you need to do is you need to go into the ring menu settings, and you go into menu here, and there's a whole range of different menu settings that you can put onto the ring menu, and it's going to be different for everyone depending on how you play the game and what you need. So you can put the NPC finder on there, and you can just come down here to worker, and the worker that's going to create a waypoint for you to the nearest work supervisor. So once you've gone into into your town, for example, we're in Heidel right now, you need to go into there, you need to purchase a house, and you need to get a house available for lodging. So this one here for lodging allows us to hire 4 more workers. All right. I'm not going to go too much into the whole worker thing, but this is just so you get an understanding of how to hire a worker. So once you've got a lodging available, you can go into your work supervisor, all right? And he's got a couple of options here for you. You can contract workers, or you can go to the worker exchange. I always have a look at the worker exchange and see if there's any workers that other players have listed on the market for sale. If there's not, you're going to come here to contract workers, and it's going to cost you energy to do this. So this is why I'm just covering the basics, because it's the energy side of things that you need to know in regards to hiring a worker. So what you would do is, once you've got a worker slot available, you can come here, you can click on this, and he's going to say it's going to be 5 energy to hire a worker, and it tells you the current energy at your disposal. So you could go, yes, okay, no worries, I agree to that, and it's going to come up with a list here, and you're going to say, okay, no, I don't want a naive worker, so I'm going to go view another, and it's going to say it's going to cost you another 5 energy. So every time you want to view another one, it's going to cost you another 5 energy. So you're going to keep going through until you find a worker that you're happy with, and you're going to see your energy slowly deplete over time, and you're going to come to a worker that you're happy with. I generally don't really buy a worker that's less than skilled these days. I just don't really think it's worthwhile, but again, it's up to you. So once you've found a worker that you're happy with, you press triangle, you're going to hire that worker, you're going to say yes, and there you go, you've hired that worker. And now you can put that worker to a particular task, depending on what nodes you have available and what you want to do with it. Okay, you don't have to send the worker to the node. There are other things you can do, like putting the worker in a workshop and having him make items for you, etc. So another thing that you can do, you're going to be able to do with energy, is Amity games. So you can see here with this particular worker up the top left there, I have minus 87 Amity. And the Amity is going to affect your relationship with a particular worker, a particular NPC, sorry. So once you have enough Amity, you're going to be able to unlock knowledge and quests and shops and all sorts of different items depending on the NPC. This guy here, it doesn't offer me anything, so I don't really need Amity with this guy, but I'll just show you anyway, because you're going to come across NPCs that will require you to have a certain amount of knowledge or Amity with that particular NPC to unlock certain quests and other things that you can do. So what you would do is you would come here and you click on conversation, and you're going to be able to play this Amity game. All right. Now, every time you play the Amity game, it's going to cost you some energy. You can see that arrow there, my energy went down. So that's another thing that you're going to be able to use energy for, is interacting with NPCs and doing certain things. Which kind of brings us to our next topic of knowledge. Knowledge is a massive, massive part of Black Desert Online. It is super important to get your knowledge in the game. So if you come into the menu and you go to knowledge, you can see here a whole bunch of different menu options about how you can get about different things that you need knowledge for. And if you click on these ones, you can see, for example, the arm on the left hand side. It tells you all the knowledge that's available for that particular category. So you can see here I've collected the energy or the knowledge, I should say, for each of these. So you've got your menu, and then you've got your sub menus, and it's going to have the list of items that are required to unlock to unlock all that energy. So once you've got the knowledge on each particular thing, you're going to be able to get all the energy available. So for example, you come into character and people of Balanos, residents of Velia, right? So once you've gone and you've spoken to all the NPCs around Velia, okay, you're going to finish that, and then you're going to be able to get that 2 of 2 available energy for that particular one. So then you've got the merchants there, you've got the farm people, the camp officers, the foreigners, etc. I highly advise that you spend some time to go around and do some knowledge hunting. Knowledge hunting is going to increase your energy. The more knowledge you have, the more energy you're going to have at your disposal. So you can see there up the top as well where it says 2,456. The other reason knowledge is really important is because the more knowledge you have, the more increased percentage item drop rate you're going to get. So you can see there now I've got over 2,000. So at the moment I get a 7% increased item drop rate. If you were to have over 8,000 knowledge, which is going to take a really long time to get, you're going to get a 20% item increase drop rate. So knowledge is not only important for collecting energy, but it's also a way to really progress through the game, and you get a lot of benefits from it as well. If you go into the profile as well, having all that knowledge there is also going to increase this one here, special fame. So the special fame of your entire family points are calculated from the accumulated knowledge and contribution points of all your characters. So I've got 640. If you look there, that gives me 250,000 silver per day passive income just from having that particular amount of knowledge and contribution points. So there's a whole range of benefits to getting knowledge, and energy is just one of them. The more energy you have, the more you're going to be able to do things like gathering and talking to NPCs and doing all sorts of various things throughout the game. Now you're probably wondering, how the hell do I get knowledge? Like, do I just go around and look for things? Well, I mean, you could, but it's probably going to take you an incredibly long time to find the things you're looking for. So there's a really useful site that you can go to, and it's called BDOcodex.com. So this is the main page here. Now you don't have to be on a computer to do this. You can look at this on your phone or a tablet or anything. You come down to database and you're going to click on knowledge. Let's say we're going to do the character ones first. Generally the characters are they're like the easiest ones to do because they're all your nodes in the game. So let's say we click on character, and it's going to have all of the same it's going to have all of the same categories as what's on your game. So you can see People of Eastern Balanos, which is the first one on your game there. You click on that, it's going to have Residents of Velia. And if, let's say, for example, you need to know where Hans is, you can open him up, and it's going to give you a map of where he is. So this is Velia right here, and you can see Hans is just here on this roadside, not too hard to find. Okay, so this is really important. Another really good way to find energy if you're looking for particular nodes is this site here called somethinglovely.com. Something Lovely is an incredibly useful tool if you're looking for nodes. Not only that, but if you're looking for things like, let's say you want to know where the world bosses are, for example, you can click on world bosses and you can see there's Coranda, there's Red Nose, there's Dimtree. So you can get an idea about where the world bosses are, for example. So there's a whole thing that you can use Something Lovely for, but the most important one for collecting energy is the nodes. So you can look on this and you can go around, and all these ones here with the red, these are the nodes. Bartali Farm, Merino Farm. So you can see there, if you're looking on the map, and you can compare. So if you don't have a particular node, for example, you can see where it is in the rough area, and you can go and you can find that node. These two sites here are incredibly useful for collecting knowledge, and I spent maybe like 1 or 2 days, like full days, just going around collecting knowledge and getting that energy up. This is getting knowledge isn't an end game thing. There are certain NPCs that you need to talk to be able to get knowledge on the NPC. For example, like you might need to complete the Camasylvia questline to talk to a particular NPC or something like that. But for the majority of it, you do not need to be endgame to get knowledge. You do not need to be endgame to get 400 energy. It's something that you can do right away as a beginner. You can go through and you can start talking to NPCs and you can start collecting energy straight away as soon as you play the game. Like I said, certain NPCs won't let you talk to them unless you have a particular amount of knowledge, so there will be some requirements depending on the NPC, but 90% of it you're going to be able to do. So when you're looking at this from a beginner viewpoint, don't get intimidated or get overwhelmed by, I've got 386 energy. There are people with more. I believe the most amount of energy that you can get is up in the 500s. So it takes time to collect, and you're going to unlock knowledge, and you're going to unlock energy as you progress through the game. With the Black Spirit quest, you're going to talk to new NPCs and you're going to unlock their knowledge, etc. So you're going to get some just by playing the game, but for the most of it, feel free to just spend a couple of days and go around and do some knowledge hunting and get that energy up, because if you want to do things like gathering for profit, it's going to come incredibly useful for you to do that. Alright, so I've spoken about how you can get more energy with knowledge hunting. Knowledge hunting is going to increase your energy. It's going to allow you to do a lot of different tasks in the game, like gathering, for example, or talking to certain NPCs to unlock more knowledge and get more energy. But I also mentioned that gathering is a really good way to make money. And so whether it's butchering goats for meat, or collecting blood, or chopping down trees, or collecting stone, all of these things require energy for you to do. The more energy you have, the more resources you're going to be able to collect at one time, and the more money you're going to be able to make. Another way that you can make money with energy is by talking to an NPC called Aliston. So again, if we go to our NPC finder and we come down here and we type in search bar, okay, and we're going to type in Aliston. Okay, so Aliston, and we select. Now it's going to tell you all of the locations that Alliston is. So all you need to do, you can see here, there's one in Velia, one in Calpheon, one in Keplen, one in Portaferia, one in Alejandro Farm, and one at Glish. So the nearest one to us right now is Velia. So we can just click on that. It's going to set a waypoint, and we're going to make our way to Alliston in Velia. Okay, so if you need to know where Alliston is, this right here in Velia, that's the Central Market location right there. And straight across the road here, behind this building, is Alliston. You actually talk to this guy within the first few quests in the game. So you should know where he is, but in case you forgot, this is where he is. So Alliston is an alchemist, and he's in those few different towns across the map. What you can do is you can come and talk to Alliston, and he will allow you to exchange energy for a pot. So let's say, for example, we want to exchange 100 energy for this pot. He goes, the exchange was successful, and we got this energy potion medium, right? So we look into our inventory. Here it is up here. This one energy potion that we just got, which you can see there, it replaces 20 energy. So you can do this, and you can store all these energy potions in case you're doing a particular task and you might need some more energy later. You can come and exchange this energy with your alt characters, and you can use them yourself. Or if you go, well, I don't really need to use energy for anything right now, it's kind of all just sitting there going to waste, you can come and swap this with this guy, and you can sell it there. You can see the marketplace information. This one pot is selling for 1,090,000 silver. If you look on the marketplace, okay, we're going to type in here potion, okay, and we're going to have a look. The energy pots right here, the small ones are 481,000. The medium ones, which we got, the 1,090,000. The large ones, 2,050,000, and the extra large ones, which use 200 energy, selling for 3,050,000 silver. So if you're just starting out and you kind of want a way to make a little bit of money, and you do have a bit of energy at your disposal, this is a pretty good way to make some money. Generally, these sell really well and relatively fast too. If you're listing it at the right price, you can generally sell them pretty fast. So if you've got a lot of characters, again, another reason I recommend making as many characters as you can is because it's going to allow you to collect this energy, and then you can sell it for profit as well. All right, so the next thing that you can use energy for is, of course, the world chat and server chat. Every time you write a message, it's going to cost you 1 energy to do so, okay? So just be aware, if you like talking on server chat, make sure you got a lot of energy, because it's going to cost you. So the next thing that you're going to use energy for is resetting knowledge. Now, this isn't really like a too common of a thing for people to think about when they think of knowledge, but you can actually come here in Calpheon, and there's this NPC here called Annalisa Rosie. So basically where that is in Calpheon City. You got this main kind of area here, this courtyard, and right basically in the middle of this side of this building here, there's this NPC at this entrance. So there's the courtyard there's the building, and right at the entrance here, you're going to speak to Annalisa Rosie. You can come in here and you can speak to Annalisa, and you can go to knowledge management. Let's look at ecology, right? So you can come down here. So you can speak to Annalisa Rosie. You can come here to knowledge management and ecology, and you can see all of the knowledge that you've so far collected on all of the the beasts or monsters in a particular area. Okay. What this is important for is if you were to come here to boss, you can see all of the knowledge you have on the bosses around the Black Desert world. Okay. The the world bosses like Kuranda, Kudum, Nuva, for example, it's really important that you get S knowledge on these, and I'm going to do a video and explain to you guys how to get S knowledge on these particular guys. But once you have S knowledge, it's really going to help you with getting those world boss drops. It's still not going to guarantee you get it, but I personally believe it's really going to speed up the process in how you can, in the rewards that you're going to get from getting the S knowledge on that particular boss. Okay, so again, I will talk about in another video how you can get S knowledge on a boss. But let's say, for example, you went and you got knowledge on a boss, and you weren't happy with it. Let's say you got C knowledge or something. You can come here and you can click on a boss, for example, and you can click on it and it says, do you want to delete the knowledge? This is going to consume 10 energy, okay, every time you do that. And you can delete it, and then you can switch back to your other character, and you can try again and get the knowledge again. And you can keep doing this backwards and forwards until you get the knowledge that you want. All right, so I'm not going to go into that too much because it's another topic on its own. But that's essentially how you reset knowledge. You come and talk to this NPC here, and you can reset knowledge on any single monster that you need to reset knowledge on for whatever reason. You can come here and you can reset that knowledge. Okay, just be aware, certain monsters are a little bit more difficult when you reset, so don't just come through and reset them all if you've got C knowledge on everything. Certain things, the more you kill them, the more you're going to get knowledge. For example, if you're out and you're killing Fogans and you've got C knowledge, once you've got that knowledge, you're going to get that S knowledge a lot faster just by killing them than what you would by resetting. So you've got to be a little bit careful with how you do it. Okay, so the most common one that you're going to be resetting knowledge on is going to be the boss ones. Okay. All right, so the next thing that you're going to be able to use knowledge for is by talking to the Black Spirit. Once you reach level 50, you can go into your Black Spirit and you can go to exchange, and you can exchange energy for certain buffs. Okay, so you can click on the combat one, which is going to give you 20% combat XP for the 50 energy. Or you can go to skill, which is going to give you 8% life skill XP. And both of those are going to last 30 minutes. Okay, so life skill is all of your things, life skill in gathering, hunting, all that sort of stuff. And combat XP is killing monsters and getting your level XP up. Okay, so that's things that you can use energy for with the Black Spirit. The next thing you can use energy for is for the Night Vendor. Now, the Night Vendor is only available at nighttime, okay, from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. And his name is Patrigio. Let's see if I've already got it in here. Okay, let's see if we can find him. Okay, so there's one in Velia. You can see there, one in Velia, one in Calphion City, one in Duvenkroon, one in Grana, one in Altanova, one in Heidel, Valencia. So there's a few of them spread around in the major cities. So we're here in Valencia, in Calphion. So we're going to go and see Patrigio, the Night Vendor, and I'm going to show you how you can use energy to get some discounted items. All right. So once you've found Patrigio, the black market vendor, you can talk to him, and you can come in here to the secret shop, and he's going to tell you it's going to cost 50 energy for an item roulette. So let's go yes, okay. Now you can see here he's going to offer you some items. This here is a Nuva Trinket. Nuva Trinket is a boss item. So what I would do is I would look at the value, for example, of the item on the central market at the time. You can use your phone, for example. Get the app on your phone and you can look at the central market and you can compare the price. Sometimes these are cheaper, sometimes they're more expensive. So you've really got to look at it and you've got to see, is it worthwhile spending that 276 million silver on this item drop, which I can probably guarantee you it's going to be more expensive spending 276 million on that Nuva. Let's go view another. Okay, it's going to cost us another 50 energy. Hard black crystal shard, 950,000 silver. So right now there is 0 of these on the market, and the price is sitting at 1.6 million. However, which is the maximum price pre-order. So if you can get one here for 950,000 silver, I'm going to purchase that because that's a pretty good deal. Now we're going to try it again. 50 energy. Let's see what this is next time. Nuva Talisman, 298 million silver. No thank you. Let's look at another one. Ring of Crescent Guardian, 48 million. Now I'm going to pass on that one too. So you can keep doing this until you find an item that's worthwhile. Alright, so if you look at the Muskins on the market right now, you can buy a base Muskin for 43 million silver. So you need to pay attention to this when you're doing this, because you can lose money or end up paying too much money for an item. So I highly recommend you maybe getting the app on your phone and looking at the central market, looking at the price of things at the time that you're doing this, because you don't want to be paying more for something when you don't have to. Another thing I recommend when you're doing this is make sure you got lots of money in here, because if you go, this is 93 million, let's say for whatever reason that was a good deal at the time, but I've only got 10 million silver. If I was to exit out and get more money, then I would lose this item. So you don't want to be scrolling through here with and have the opportunity to buy something at an amazing price and not have the money to buy it. So if you are going to do this, make sure you've got the money. Alright, so the next thing that you can use energy for is something called the Altar of Blood. So you may have seen this thing here in your menu here, Altar of Blood, and you've kind of gone, what the hell is that? Basically what it is, it's a 3-man co-op kind of event thing that you can do. It costs you 100 energy to enter. So it's kind of like a survival mode type thing where you and your friends can go and you can kill a bunch of monsters and you go up by levels. Every level costs you 20 additional energy. So there's 5 levels. Every time you pass a level, you're going to get items and rewards. And level 5, once you kill the boss, you're going to get more rewards as well. So keep that in mind. It's something that you might want to try. But 100 energy to enter and 20 additional energy for the 4 extra levels as well. Alright, so now, as well as the knowledge hunting for getting energy, another way that you can get energy is by something called titles. Titles are something you can come here into your profile and you look at my information. You can see here all the titles that you've got. So that you can see the total titles I've acquired is 351, or 25.7%. Okay, once you reach 700 titles, this will give you a maximum of 6 energy. So the titles here, you can see this one, for example, title requirement, receive Princess Jareth's invitation for the Black Desert Heidel Ball at home. Okay, Vengeance, complete quest, secret challenge 2020 reward. Let's look at this one that I've already finished. Gather knowledge. Nobody can look down on me. So if you need to know what the knowledge is, you can refer back to that site before, and you can get the knowledge on these. So there's the world ones, there's combat ones, there's life, and there's fishing. Okay, so by having the titles on all these different categories, you can get various different progress rewards as well. So you can boost your luck, you can increase your energy, you can get increase experience, and your stamina increase as well. The total amount of benefits you can get are 6 energy, you can get plus 5 luck, you can get 15% increased stamina, and 12% combat experience. So keep that in mind. Titles are something that you may want to do as you progress through the game, or it's something that you may want to leave till later. But there is the benefit of getting that extra 6 energy amongst the other ones as well. that are going to help you get those rewards. Now, the way that you do these, world titles are received as you complete quests, events, and knowledge, and also enhancement milestones. You can get combat titles from killing a certain amount of a specific monster, which are the combat titles right here. The next ones are the life titles. Life titles are earned by life skilling and crafting milestones. And the last one is fishing, which is required to... you get these titles by catching a certain number of specific fish. So if you do a lot of fishing, you're going to get these titles pretty quickly. Alright, so there's two things left that I'm going to mention of what you can do with energy. So the next one we're going to talk about is trading items. So if you're not sure where your nearest trade manager is, just pull up that NPC finder, and you come here to trade manager, and that's going to give you a waypoint to the nearest trade manager. What you can do is when you've got particular items, trade items, for example, I'll show you like this one here. You can tell it's a trade item because of the description of it. You can see trade purchase price none. It doesn't have any kind of real information about it, but if it's got that trade purchase price, generally you'll know that it's a trade item. So you can come to your nearest trade manager and you can sell it to them. This also works for items like fish or something like that, where if you've been out fishing, or let's say you're doing AFK fishing overnight and you've got a bunch of green fish, you can come here and you can sell your green fish to the trade manager for a higher purchase price. So what you want to do is you want to talk to the trade manager, you want to come here to trade, and he's going to have a list of the items here that are available for you to trade. You can just sell it at the flat rate. You can see there it's the Kermies are 10,500 silver each, and the amber is 2,700. So you can just sell them to him. You press square and you can sell it at a flat rate. Or what you can do is you can play the bargain game. The bargain game is going to use energy. So this is going to consume 5 energy per try. And you're going to play this little mini game, and you've got to get the scales perfectly in line. So you hit boldly for the big gaps and carefully for the small gaps, and you're going to get that bargain success once it's perfectly in line. And then you hit sell all, and it's going to say you have trade items from an unconnected node. Do you want to sell everything? Yes. Okay, and there you go. You're going to sell the items at a higher purchase price. If you have, for example, let's say you do a bunch of fishing in Velia, and you or even better, for example, let's say you're fishing in Grana, right? In Camasilvia, you're in Grana. Let's say you have enough contribution points and you connect the nodes all the way to Valencia, for example, or even Altanova or something like that. If you've got all of the nodes connected, you're going to get a higher purchase price from the trade manager than what you would without them connected. However, it does use a lot of contribution points, so it's something you need to consider whether it's something you're doing regularly or not. If you're doing if you're trading crates for profit or something like that, it might be worthwhile. But if you're not doing it on a regular basis, just sell it to him and get the increased purchase price, and it's good enough. Now, the last thing that I'm going to say that you can do energy with is locating a player. So if you come here in Velia and you come into the tavern, you can see this man over here, the black robe man. You can talk to him, and if you go chat and you can say, I'm looking for someone, it's going to cost you 5 energy. You can enter in the name of a particular player that you're looking for. It's going to cost you 10,000 silver as well. And what it's going to do is going to pinpoint the exact location of that player on the map. Keep in mind, though, that the player does need to be on the same server as you at the time that you're looking for them. Alright, so let's recap on what we've spoken about so far, about what you can use energy for. So, number 1 is Amity. Playing the Amity game with NPCs, and how you can get knowledge on NPCs by playing the Amity game. It's going to allow you to unlock things like certain NPCs will have a shop, or they will give you a quest or additional knowledge by having increased amity with them. The other thing that you can do with NPCs is you can greet. Okay, you can come here and you can wave at the NPC, and That's what that's going to do, is that's going to increase the amity with that particular NPC, and but it's going to use your energy to do that. Okay, so it's going to use 3 energy, and it's going to increase the amity by 3. So if you're struggling with the amity game, you can just wave at them for hours on end until you get the amity that you need, and that's another way to increase that as well. Next thing that you can use energy for is investing in nodes. Okay, so you can invest energy and contribution points into a node, which will then unlock a resource that you can send a worker to, and you can collect that resource passively that you can then sell for silver, or you can use the resource for additional tasks like cooking or alchemy. You can use energy for hiring the workers that you need to send to that resource node to collect those resources for you. You can invest energy into the nodes that you are grinding at. If you want additional item drop rates, you can invest all of your energy into a connected node, and you can get it up to level 10, and you can get a 50% item drop rate on every 10th monster that you kill. So if you're grinding in a particular spot a lot, or if you're looking for a particular item, it's a good idea to invest into a particular node that you're at a lot. The next thing that you can use energy for is the world chat. If you're talking a lot on the world chat, that's going to cost you a lot of energy. Resetting knowledge on boss monsters in Calpheon City Library, that's going to cost you 10 energy every time you reset it. Talking to the Black Spirit for the combat and the life skill XP buff, that's 50 energy for both of those. Talking to the trade manager and getting an increased bargain rate on items that you're selling to the trade manager, that's going to cost you 5 energy per try. Locating another player is going to cost you 5 energy and 10,000 silver. The night vendor, where you can get items at a discounted rate, is going to cost you 50 energy per item that you look at. And the Altar of Blood, where you can spend 100 energy plus 20 energy for every additional level, that gives you access to a 3-man survival mode that you kill a bunch of monsters and get a whole bunch of rewards from as well. And also exchanging energy for the energy potions with Aliston the Alchemist that you can then sell for profit or store later on in case you need some additional energy later on. Alright, so we've spoken about the knowledge as well, about how you can go and get more knowledge to increase your energy. It's a very important part of the game, is getting that knowledge, increasing your energy. And you can also increase energy by unlocking titles in the game as well. But now let's talk about how you can regenerate your energy. We've spoken about how you can get more energy and what you can use it for, but how do you get it back? Well, your energy is naturally going to recover as you play the game. So you're going to get 3 energy back for every... you're going to get 1 energy back for every 3 minutes that you're actively playing the game. If you've got a bunch of those alt characters up here, they're going to get 1 energy back every 30 minutes that you're actively playing the game. And if you're offline, I believe you get energy back like 1 every hour or X amount every hour or something like that. So you still can gain energy while you're offline, but it's at a much slower rate. Okay. The other way that you can get energy back is by using the energy potions that we spoke about, that you can get with Aliston, or you can buy them on the central market if you're really desperate and you need some energy. You can buy those there. If you, for whatever reason, can't get the energy potions, you can come into the Pearl Shop. Okay, and I believe you come to function. No. Consumables. Okay. In consumables, you go all the way down and you can buy these things here called energy tonics. Energy tonics, you can see they've got small, medium, and a large. Okay, the large ones are going to restore 50 energy. And now these cost 40 pearls, which is around 60 cents Australian dollars, or about 40 cents US dollars. Okay, so that's something you can buy for real money if you are desperate for whatever reason. You need energy tonic. it's going to restore the same amount of energy, 50 energy, as a large energy potion that you can get from Aliston or on the central market. So that's something that you might want if you need it for whatever reason. Okay, so another way that you can get additional energy as well is by coming in here and looking for a crystal called the Magic Crystal of Infinity, which is energy. Magic Crystal of Infinity energy. Okay, these here are going to add 10 energy. You can slot these into your boots. They're going to add 10 energy, or if you have 2 of them, 20 energy. So that's something that you can consider as well. All right, another way that you can get energy back is by using a bed. So if you come into the marketplace, you come down to furniture and you go to bed, you can see that there's a variety of different beds here. They all pretty much do the same thing, just different styles. But you're going to see here, +1 energy recovery for online characters. Okay, so while you're online, you can go into a residence, which, for example, let's go to Heidel right here. And we go to our residence, and it's right there. If you don't have one, you can go to Purchase House, go to Purpose, and come here to Residence. It's going to give you a list of all the available houses that you can put a residence in. Once you've got that residence, you can then put furniture inside it for cooking or alchemy. You can put items in there that are going to give you buffs for like decoration items that are going to give you certain buffs. You can put a bed in there, and you can go and lie down in that bed, and it's going to give you +1 energy recovery while you're online. So that would give you a total of 2 energy recovery every 3 minutes. Okay. The other thing that you can do is you can get an item called a Blessing of Camasilve. Okay, and they look like this right here. Blessing of Camasilve gives you +2 energy recovery while you're online, as well as all the other benefits like the item drop rate and the increased weight in the central market and all that sort of stuff. They give you +2 energy recovery. So if you had one of those on, you would get 3 energy recovery every 3 minutes, or if you're lying in a bed, you would get 4 energy recovery every 3 minutes. So that's ways that you can get your energy back faster. And the last way that you can get energy back is by completing certain tasks from NPCs. They'll give you a quest, and certain quests will give you energy back as a reward for the quest. So that's pretty much going to wrap up the video, guys. I know it's a lot to take in. So if you have any questions, leave a comment below. You can also hit me up in Discord as well. If you're stuck on a particular thing, if there's something you need to know, come and chat with me, and I'll answer any questions that I have. But I do answer as many questions as I possibly can in the comments below. So feel free to leave a comment there if you like. If you learned something from this video, hit that thumbs up button, and make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell button for notifications on future videos like this and all other videos for Black Desert console related. I really hope you guys learned something and hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate all your support, and I will see you in the next video.